Well, welcome back to another video. Guys, I don't know what to say. Crypto is in the gutter, but I know some of y'all are down, but I got a couple of words I can give you for some encouragement for you to look forward to. Now, I ain't got nothing. We screwed. Yeah, guys, I have nothing at this point. I mean, look, I was one of the ones that told y'all if there was gonna be alt season, it'd be November, December. I can't. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, which is kind of rare for me. And depending who you follow, who you watch, of course you follow, some people, you watch some people on YouTube, wherever, and this is the best time to buy Bitcoin. This is why it's still going up. And you got some other ones that are like, everything's over with. Here comes the ice age, and we're going into another bear market, and get ready. So, pick what side of the spectrum you want. And I got other people asking me just about the general state of Depin. We had one or two more Depins that went TGE, and it was a complete another failure, car crash, airplane wreck, whatever you want to call it. Beamable, whatever it was. Beamable goes TGE. Hey, we had faith in that project. It's got gaming. The token, had a token sale, and then it had its release, and it was a complete cluster, whatever, completely tanked, price tanked. It was a bad timing on that release, and you had it go down the same time or release the same time all these other tokens are going down. The whole crypto market's going down, and people are saying they got rugged. Listen, Beamable is way too big of a project to be rugging people. It's just that this is a perfect example again, and I hate to keep going back to this, but some of us complain, some people complain about Wingbits making sure that they are ready to support their token when it goes to mainnet. And this is a perfect example why. So you look at Beamable. Beamable was supposed to be a 10-cent price at launch. And immediately within the first hour, it's down to 4 cents. 2-3 hours later, 2 cents. And listen, I'm surprised in that, of course, you look at Beamable and what they say on their Discord. The team says, "Hey, we're in this for a long haul. We're not worried about the token price." Yeah, but that's a pretty big drop. And I don't mean to pick on Beamable. I'm just trying to tell you the whole state of Depin right now. And you look at what some of these other projects are doing that had recent drops. You can look at Nubila, 375 AI. They had recent token drops, and their prices are down. One of them's down 50%, just like within the last couple of days. I don't know. Everything right now is sour. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know what else to say. I don't have any magic TA advice or anything like that. I hope this isn't the bear market. One thing I will say I was accurate on, like, I might not have called this alt season in November. But that's just because, listen, and I'm not trying to change my words or anything like that. So nobody has to go and say, "Oh, in this video you said this." Listen, I know what I said. Despite I can't remember what I had for lunch today, I can remember what I said on these videos because y'all kindly remind me. I kept saying if there was gonna be an alt season, it would be, in my eyes, November, December, because some people who were familiar with that kind of stuff, that's what they were going with. I showed you videos of people saying you had to look for these certain percentages and all that stuff like that. And I'm not going to pull it up now, but I also said this, and I've said this since the man was elected. Trump is a wild card. Trump in the market is a wild card. I know I've said that many, many times. I've told y'all that. Crypto is going to zig when it's going to, when you think it's going to zag, or vice versa. But I kept telling y'all over and over, I don't think that this cycle is going to be like any other cycles. Told y'all that before. Don't make me have to go back in videos and find it. And I told y'all that there's two main thoughts. Yeah, the people who think, of course, this, Captain Obvious here. Yeah, people who think this is going to be just like the cycle. The cycle is going to be the same as every other cycle. And yeah, people like me who say those other cycles didn't have Trump the wild card like he is now. I know the previous cycles had Trump in it, but not compared to some of the shenanigans that's going on now. I'm not saying I dislike the man. I'm not saying I like the man or anything like that. But when he mentions the word tariffs, stuff crashes. Sometimes stuff recovers. He mentioned giving out checks at one point. Market goes up. He mentions checks now. Market don't go up. It's all a crapshoot at this point. It's all a crapshoot. I got people asking me, what am I doing with Depin? Well, if I'm in Depin projects, why am I going to stop now? I'm just going to stack the token. Yes, I would have liked to take profit before we had all these huge drops. I didn't. I know I said in videos, hey, before the bear market comes, and I'm not saying we're in the bear market. I'm just going off of what I'm trying to watch X today, trying to watch YouTube today. And it just seems like that's what people are saying. People are panicking about, Bitcoin is down 14% in the last week. I saw earlier somebody said something about, it was like over $1 trillion of market cap that got wiped off of the crypto market in the last few days because of Bitcoin going down. Everything's in the red except the one token that's kind of like the roaches in the dinosaur that won't go away. Right now, Zcash. Y'all know how I feel about Zcash. I used to have a lot of Zcash. It was supposed to be over with. It was supposed to be the project was going to die. And it seems like as soon as it comes down and we thought that, okay, that fund was over with, it pumped back up. Now, people ask me, should y'all go buy Zcash? I'm not answering that. Because right now with this crypto market, all bets are off. This is just crazy right now. Nobody saw this coming. I'm looking at X, and there's nobody saying they saw this coming. And if they said they saw this coming, they lied. Yes, it's a privacy coin, but nobody had this privacy coin as the one that they thought was going to do it. But yeah, people saying now Zcash is better than Bitcoin and everybody needs to be buying this. And this is supposed to be going to 10 grand. Somebody explain it to me. Like, I can't explain it. But the fact that Zcash is now at number 12, passed up Chainlink, Stellar, Monero, HBAR, AVAX, Sui. Come on, man. Like, all bets are off at this point on what's going to happen to any of this. This is just crazy. Crypto bubbles looks nasty, but let me tell you something else that's nasty. And tell y'all the luck that Grumpy has. So I told y'all that I used to mine ZEC. Okay. I used to mine ZE coin, whatever you want to call it. But let me tell you another story. Give me a second. Bear with me. I'm going to tell you another story, which I'm going to guess was 4 to 5 years ago, about a sign I saw. And the sign was Telcoin. Telcoin is one of the first kind of, I don't know if you want to call them altcoin, whatever, that I kind of ventured into. And let me tell you what the sign was. What the sign was I was on vacation with my family. This was right when all the Doge thing was going. Remember when Doge was supposed to go to $1, and they thought Elon was going on Saturday Night Live, was going to mention Doge, and Doge was going to $1. And everybody said, no, Doge can't go to $1 because of this, and this is why market cap exists. That's, same thing I argue about XRP going to $10. And in the pool, kind of like if you ever saw the movie with Chevy Chase when they're going on vacation, the Great Vacation, whatever it's called, whatever, and he keeps seeing the model, Christy Brinkley, in the Ferrari that was in the pool and the bikini on at one point or something like that. But so I see this woman in a bikini, and it's a Dogecoin bikini. She had it printed somehow, I don't know, and not much to it, but it was a Dogecoin bikini, the little Doge symbols all over the place, and the dog and stuff like that. And the husband was kind of sitting close to me, so I said, "Dude, your wife's bikini, like, where the hell y'all got that from?" And he laughed, and he's like, "We made a killing on Doge." So I bought a Doge bikini for my wife. I said, "Man, I wish I would have knew about it when it was really, really low." To make a long story short, so I like, well, tell me what the next one's going to be. And he says, there's a token coming out called Tell. And he discussed how the banks were going to use this. This was even really almost before XRP really started claiming all this, and how these banks were going to use this as a stable coin, or not stable coin, but as a way to do transactions and stuff like that. And I bought a bunch of it. And again, this was probably 2018, 2019. And it really didn't do anything, at least when I had it. And after some point, after the bull market or whatever it is, it came back down, and I just dropped it. I said, screw it. And of course, now you see it. Here it goes. It's up 91%. Why? This is another one. Why all of a sudden, after 5 years, no more than that, like when did this start? 2018. So it's 7 years. 7 years. This is one of the early. This is one of these early tokens. 7 years. And why now? Why? Like, what's like? I don't understand it. So you have ZEC Intel. If you would have asked me of all the tokens I ever owned, what's the last two you thought would moon in 2025? ZEC Intel. Really? So, I know I lost some of y'all, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna make the rest of this video kind of short. I'm not gonna go as deep into some of these projects because they're all down. They're all down. There's no reason to pick on any other project or any certain project because they're all down right now. Some are down more than others. Some have been kind of holding steady. And you have some that were already sliding down hard that slid down more. It's just crazy right now. Again, I'm trying to do some TA, trying to, watch some videos of people I trust. But, if you watch George, Cryptos Are Us, everything's great. This is a great time to buy more Bitcoin. I will agree on one thing. If you got the capital, like me, I told y'all, I'm so broke right now. I can't buy nothing even if I wanted to. Every week there's some kind of new catastrophe going on around my house that requires me to pay money for something, and I don't know how I still have my lights on. And my wife would kill me for me telling you that because she says I tell y'all way too much stuff. But my point I'm trying to make though is that right now you have a crypto index of 15. The last time it was this low was March 10th of 2015. You look at it right here, that's lower than we had during the bull market. Right? This is where it would be at down here, and at least in 2023. Normally when it's this low, this is when you're supposed to be buying because there is blood in the streets. But from what I'm hearing some people talking about this is going into the 80s. They could just be panicking. Who knows? Or is this all just a game? Is this all a game that exchanges are playing because they're making money by stomping out longs? Because everybody keeps opening up longs. I don't know. I don't know. But before we jump into projects, I just want to go over this one thing, and I might do a separate video on this, but I don't know if I want to be pinned down with a certain specific video on this. There's still even, I got two different camps right now. I'm in two different camps. Part of me wants to say, look, if we had me start another bear market, if this is going to be another cold winter bear market, first of all, holy hell, I think the bull market lasted about 23 minutes. Alt season was for about 5 or 6 tokens, and that was it. Hey, Crow went up at one point to 40 cents, 40 something cents. Maybe that should have been our key that was the alt season. Isn't that quick? We waited too long. Who knows? You have some people saying this is all just an anomaly and we're going up. But what I want to say is that there are certain tokens that, okay, and that's what I was getting at. And you got two camps. I'm in two camps right now. One of them is, if this really was the bull market and we barely saw an alt season, part of me wants to say, I'm done with alts. Whatever I have. I'm done with alts. And from now on, all Grumpy's capital, whatever he makes, is going to Bitcoin, and I'm calling it a day. Call me Tech Hustler. Maybe we all laughed at Tech Hustler for saying that back when 2 or 3 months ago, and that alt season was done. We all laughed at him. We all made fun of him. Not all of us, but most of y'all made fun of him. Don't say y'all didn't, because y'all were on my live making fun of him. And guess what? We look like the clowns now. Tell me we don't. We all said this dude's a fool saying that there's no alt season. Right here. Alt season already happened. And we all laughed about it. But here we are. So what I'm getting at is, there's a part of me that says, I'm done with playing with the alts. There's so many alts now. Money's getting moved around. And it's time to become a Bitcoin maxi and put the Bitcoin maxi hat on. Another part of me saying that, again, going back to what Tech Hustler said, if you want to be in Depin projects, be in it because you like the tech. Don't be in it. I even saw that on X earlier. Somebody else even made a comment about, some people, they're just looking for a $500 a day Depin. And Mr. Passive Flow says, the number one Depin project failed, and the ones who come after want you to think that they're different. Earning $500 a day from a $50 device ain't normal. You're never going to see it again. You're never going to see it again. If you want to get in Depin, get into Depin because you like what the project's doing, and then you can make a little bit of capital on the side and call it a day. And look, in saying all that, I'm also hard-headed. My wife will be the first one to tell you that. Alt tokens can screw me over, and I'm going to tell you right now. There's 2 or 3 tokens that you let them fall to a certain point. I'm telling you right now, you let VeChain fall under 1 penny, I'm not paying my light bill this month, because I'm putting that $300 something. Yes, that's what my light bill cost on VET. VET that was just at 2 cents a while back, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, was at 20 something cents at all-time high. I'll take a chance and have to wait till another alt season 3 years from now, but we'll put money under a penny on VET, because when it gets to 2 cents, I'm doubling my money right there just to get back to 2 cents. So there's certain tokens, just certain ones, that I'm willing to take that chance on. Here's another one. I told y'all, yes, look, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, let me make sure I get this straight too, that this is what I am doing. I'm not telling any y'all to follow this goofy plan, because I have been wrong since I've started this channel. Wrong since I started this channel. Show me a YouTuber or anybody on there that is right. You got Wendy O with over 1 million followers, and guess what? I'm still waiting on a $25 XRP or whatever she's pumping right now. Any of them? Tell me any of them that been right. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna start pivoting more, because before I have hardly any kind of bag of Bitcoin, but there are certain tokens still right now. I was buying this at $40 and $50. Not his $40 right here, $40 right here. all-time high was $44. So 40 something dollars, 30 something dollars, 20 something dollars. I'm buying this. And I'm telling you right now, you let this get under like $2 and I'm buying it. I'm buying it. And I said I would never buy any more Atom because I have a huge bag. I'm gonna make my bag huger. With 24% staking on Exodus, I'm gonna make my bag huger. There's another one. Told you I wouldn't buy anymore. I bought a bunch at 13. Let this fall under, say, $100. I'm buying it. What about this one? What say you? I can tell you, for Cardano, Cardano's at $1 a while back, so I would have to say 25 cents, under 25 cents. I'm talking about, like, I'm only taking risk at this point on all tokens that I know are going to do something crazy. If they get higher, what's my percentage going to be? My X. At 25 cents, you're 4Xing if it just goes to $1. If it goes to $3, back to all-time high. But do these alts even see an all-time high again? I don't know. Are we just talking like this because we're down in the dumps and in 2 or 3 weeks when all this stuff recovers, we're going to look like asses talking like this? What do y'all say about this one? It wasn't that long ago. It was at $134. So do you put maybe like a $10 limit, like a $10 level? If it falls under 10, do you buy? We talked about this one. I've had to recently dump into, I told you, I'm on bad times right now at my house. We have just some bad things that have happened. I've had to pay for. I don't like really trying to get into that because somebody made an asinine comment that said, look, you don't see any other YouTubers trying to tell them how poor you are. You're just doing it for sympathy and money. I'm not asking. I've never asked y'all to ever send me money. I don't know why he would say that. I'm just trying to tell you this is real life here. I'm not a YouTuber that goes in there with fake backgrounds like I'm in some skyscraper living the big life. No, I got kids in high school, college, paying card notes for them, insurance at $750 a month. Times are tight. So I don't have all this capital. I had to dip into my Kronos tokens. I had 40,000 tokens up close to it. Don't have that now. Had to do it. Of course, you're doing it when it's 10 cents, and it makes me cry almost every time I do it. Do what I got to do to survive. But I can tell you right now, next to Vet, and that's another one, is I always say I'd never buy more Kronos. But guess what? This was $1 at one point. Just from right now, if you buy right now and it goes back at some point, 3 years from now, it goes back to all-time high. You're looking at 10x. So my point is, you let this fall down to say 5 cents, 6 cents. If I can go collect a couple of cans somewhere, I might jump on that. What about ICP? ICP's all-time high at one point was $750. Personally, I don't ever see it going like that. With a circulating supply of 500 million tokens, I don't ever see it really getting to that level again. But I could see it going. Look at this all-time low, $1.98. I can tell you right now, you let this get like back to like $1 or something, dollar in the dollar range, between $1 and $2. I did not realize it got this low. It must have been like a flash thing. I can tell y'all. Yeah, it must have been a flash thing because this says October 10th right here that it was at $3. Well, my point is, you let this come back down to like $2, $1 something. I'm gonna find some money put in. And let me tell you something else I'm looking at doing. And some of y'all might disagree with this. Again, I've made bad calls my entire crypto career. So why stop now? There are some tokens that I'm just start ready to kind of give up on. HNT's one. I own thousands and thousands or hundreds and hundreds, I don't know what it is, of HNT. 375 AI, Natix, different things like that. Natix, I showed y'all on live one time I had $900 worth of Natix. That's worth like $275 today. Just from the token going down. Never sold it. But I'm willing to take that and go put that $275 all on vet if it gets below $1. Because I know I don't have $275 right now to my name to put to it. But you let it fall to the levels I want. You let Crow go fall to something stupid like 4 cents or 5 cents, something crazy. You let ICP go fall to something like $1.98 again or something like that. I'm going to find the capital to put on it. And it might be if some of these tokens like Silencio and Natix and even Sword Chain, some of these tokens that project 375 AI that didn't cost me anything to get into, and it's pure profit. Yes, it hurts that I'm gonna sell it now instead of selling it at the higher levels it was, but either way, it's pure profit to me. It didn't cost me anything to set Natix up on an old phone, on my daughter's old phone, running Wi-Fi to it and running it in my car. So even though it's going to hurt that it's only $275 worth of Natix, I'm still taking pure profit and putting that into VET or Crow, ICP, AVAX, some other token that's at a stupidly low level, and just taking a chance on it. Or hell, even rolling it just into Bitcoin. You have a lot of people right now in Depin projects saying, hey, I'm in a Depin because I like the Depin, but I'm not holding that token from that particular project forever. And now I'm going into, I'm rolling straight into Bitcoin. That's possible. So now that I've taken up a half hour of your time, and half of y'all probably quit watching this video because I know some of y'all just come here for updates. Look, I'm gonna do this a little bit different. If I start going project by project right now, this will be a 2-hour video, and I'm not gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and just reveal everything now. Now, Chirp is 22 weeks in a row because I always forget to update that. But a lot of these tokens, basically every one of these projects is down. Every one of these projects is down right now. If you want to hit on a couple of projects and what's going on, like here's Chirp. Chirp helped this place with the intelligence. Chirp delivered it, and they put sensors up, and it's working off the Chirp network. Listen, I'm in a foul, sarcastic, negative mood. I still go back to when there's so few of these Blackbird miners that are out there. How are you making companies dependent on your IoT side? There needs to be more of these out there. And I know you're trying to limit them, and they keep saying how they want to limit these things so that we don't flood the market in certain areas. But again, y'all know I've showed y'all the map, and they're not close to that. They need to deploy more, and they need to deploy them directly to people and not sell an NFT that can get scalped for $400 more than what it's worth. 7 billion scan networks around for KAGE. I still question what the hell does this have to do with this project? But they got conspiracy theories out there of why this is even happening. I'm not going to feed into them. You do your own research and figure it out yourself. But that's basically announcements from Chirp. Going to GEODNET next. GEODNET had a live. They're doing a weekly GEODNET Rover AMA on Thursday. If y'all want to that, but as you see that's basically it for GEODNET. And GEODNET's tokens down 13%. Again, I really didn't want to go over some of these prices, but some of y'all want to know the prices. Everything's down, guys. Everything. And when Solana is down by a certain percentage, what's it at $120, $130? The tokens on Solana are going to be down. The issue is when some of these projects are down way more than what the average is. I see like Chirp's only down 7%. They were at 2 cents last week. Now they're at 2.9, which is basically 3 cents. So they're not down that hard at all. As far as Rover goes, I wanted to figure out what I made on my recent trip last week to Missouri. Now that rewards hit today, of course, I don't have my phone with me, so I can't do that calculation right now. Rover is still hanging close to that 1 penny. I don't know how they do it, but they are staying close to that 1 penny mark, and I give it to them. Next is Onocoy. Onocoy has no news at all going on. No update since their last AMA. As far as their pricing is gone, they're at 2 cents right now. And depending on all these goofy lines, the way I don't know why this is like this, but it's just the way it shows up. A week ago it was a little bit higher. So of course it's down a little bit, not too much, nothing to go panic over, something like that. But that's Onocoy. Next is Entropy. And Entropy's average tokens have actually gone up a smidge, but their price has not. Their price is still going down along with other ones. It is attached to Solana, so that is also part of it. But I will be honest, it was also going down before that. So, you do have some small sales here or there. Some of these look like bots, but I'm gonna tell you, some of them don't look like bots. And if people are that greedy that they have to be selling $4 here, $3 here, you're probably not gonna last long in this project. Like I've kind of told people this over and over. Entropy is not going to just stop at, oh, we sold Ashlers and made some money off Ashlers, like people are claiming, and then run it away. They actually have several different things that they are working on, and I want to make sure that we go over that. They have started this Entropy Capital Markets. We discussed this in a previous video. I don't want to go rehash it all right now because honestly, I still don't understand what it's about, but supposedly it's a pretty big thing. I don't understand how it works. I'm not gonna sit and pretend like it understands it works. I'm not gonna do a video explaining how it works because I don't know. And I'm just being honest with y'all. Supposedly it's supposed to be, something that you can use leverage on, but it's not as dangerous as normal leverage, is what it's being explained to me in about the most simplest terms. But my point is, this probably took a little bit of effort. We know they're still going around discussing Entropy to people. Another thing is, I think is pretty cool, is they signed up with Raposa Coffee, and there will be a Entropy, as Grumpy calls it, or Entropy coffee with the 3 NFTs on it: the snake, the ape, or the whale. And I think it's pretty cool. Apparently, Raposa has some kind of thing, some kind of deal where for a certain amount of money, you can get your own kind of label made type of thing. And I think it's cool. And again, it goes to show you that Entropy is not just stopping after this token. After the Ashler sale. One thing I do also want to mention before I forget is, one good thing about this is when they start, they're going to offer Sol and Bitcoin synthetics for 2x or 1x leverage or whatever like that. Fees are collected just like any other trading you're doing or anything like that. However, this one is going to the bot for risk and position management, and the other 5% is going to market buying and burning of Entropy. So you will have liquidity start going into this token more once this all gets started. I think that's a positive thing you have to look at. All right. So next is Junk. Junk has gained a 0, and they have gone down in price also. And they're down to 0.050 at a 9.6, which basically brings this to, depending on if you're playing the pool or not, or how much you're playing the pool, but basically you're making about 26 cents. If you remember, at one point, Junk and Entropy were like neck and neck, and Junk has fallen a little bit more. Hey, it is what it is. I just report the news, but no really new news from the Junk team or anything like that. Nothing since November 6th. So that's Junk. Moving on to DIMO. DIMO is drowning. I don't know how else to put DIMO, but it's drowning. Token price is down another 11%, which is still which is about average of what everybody else is doing. I'm gonna say that, but we have been looking at, and actually looks like it came up to like 3 cents for a little while, and it came back down. This is another one. This is another one that I am now 23 months into this project and fell back without ROIing, if that's the word to use, or my value back on my devices. Bought 3 devices, paid $270 for 3 devices, and now I have probably under $200 worth of DIMO. Of course, I've never spent it, never used it, never did anything with it. It's all basically staked. Come December, it's going to be unstaked, and that's when I'll make a decision. But, you know, I have $189 right now worth of DIMO with 5 devices rolling. Now, one of my devices has not connected. I don't know what's wrong with it. I haven't had time to troubleshoot it. And right, to be honest with y'all, when DIMO is making 16 cents a day, I'm not going out my way to where I have this DIMO to go troubleshoot it. The person that's using it right now in their vehicle from me took it out from me, plugged it back in, green lights blinking, blue lights blinking like it's supposed to, and there's several Helium devices in the area where they've been driving, and it's not picking up. It has not connected in, I don't know how long, but in 20 days. But again, I'm not even worried about troubleshooting it. You know, it's just 16 cents a day, guys. I don't know what to say about it. You know, really the only thing I question with DIMO at this point is what happened to this. These people going to buy the data. Either we were going to sell it to them directly, or you were going to use some type of third party to sell it. What happened to all that? Like, you don't hear nothing about all that anymore. You don't even hear them begging for subscriptions anymore. Like, I don't know what this project is right now. Again, I see people on Facebook or X or Discord and stuff like, I'm unplugging my DIMO. Why? If you're getting, if you got a macron like me and you got 12 months left at this point of subscription, why not let it run? In case the token does ever go back up to, say, 5 cents or 7 cents again, 8 cents again. But I can tell you right now, it goes up again. Grumpy's cashing out. But I couldn't before because I have it staked. The staking should end sometime around Christmas and whatever. I'm just gonna say the same thing I say all the time. EarnApp. EarnApp is my number one project. My number one project this year. Number one project. I really need to have it up here number one. But when you look at it on what I'm making with EarnApp per device, it's not $2. But I have like 12 or 13 computers running EarnApp on different networks at different places, and I'm making bank with it. You know, I took some out last week to pay one of these uncrazy bill or unexpected bills to come in, and I'm back already up to like $35 in a week. Maybe more than that, maybe $40 or something like that. I haven't really looked at it. And I'm going hunting again next week, the weekend of Thanksgiving. That's the big Louisiana tradition. Is guys go Thanksgiving weekend to hunting places. My son's coming down from college. I'm gonna need that money to pay for food, maybe some alcohol, you know, for sitting around a campfire at night. But it's supposed to be 80 something degrees that weekend. So I don't know how much campfire at night we're gonna be doing, but my point is EarnApp is the only thing I can count on that will probably give me 100 something bucks by next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. Guaranteed. EarnApp. I know there's been several of y'all that have joined it. I can see what y'all doing. I don't know who you are. I can just see like the first letter of your email, the last letter of your email, and what you're making so far. And some of y'all have did very well. Some of y'all haven't, but I'm guessing y'all just have it on one device. You might only have that capability doing it on one device. But still, compared to what some of these other Depin projects are doing, I guarantee you're doing better on that than you are with some of these other Depin projects. Don't forget with EarnApp, check out my link below. It will give you a bonus to start off with from using my referral link, and join and check it out. So 375 AI. The token price is back down to 4 cents. You know, it released higher than that. I know some people who did pretty well with it. Was at like 12, 13 cents at one point. It came down to 2 cents and went back up to, was this about 6, 7 cents, then hit another 7.5 cent high about 6 days ago. And it's been down also, down 30%, which is more than what your average tokens have been down so far. So I am a little disappointed in this. I do hold a good amount of 375 AI, but I'm holding on to it. And you know, maybe some people are right. Maybe we should dump tokens as soon as the TGE comes out. But I just always felt dirty doing that. The same people who complain about tokens dropping so bad are the same people who are also selling right at TGE and then say, I can't believe the token is dropping so much. You know, maybe I'm too honest. Now, somebody sent me an invite to 375 AI Gate. And I don't know what the difference is between 375 AI Gate, which has a good amount of people in it, and the regular 375 AI Discord. I don't know. But 375 AI did have a drop. Their first epoch ended since they've been on mainnet. I can tell you that since the new 375 AI has released, I am at about 83,000 hexes. So I've been doing some traveling. It's gonna, you know, hunting season's here. I've got 15,600 hexes since the new epoch started. And for my first epoch, I got 224 tokens, which when that first dropped, it was worth $12, but with the price drop, it's worth 10. Now, I don't remember exactly how long that epoch was to average that out per day. But hey, I made at that time $12 worth. Now it's $10.50 worth of tokens at 220, like I said, 224 ETH tokens. So that's 375 AI. But no real news, anything from 375 AI. All right. So, and Nubila also had its TGE. And that token has seen some struggles also. And it is down 60%. Holy hell. 60% in a week. Woo, man. So it was up to 13 cents at one point. And it has come down since then. That's another one I have not sold. I have not did anything with it. It's on a couple of exchanges, mostly swap stuff. But hey, the device, I have the device, it's running. I have not seen any news about with the nodes or what we need to do with nodes at any point. I have not seen any news on that. If y'all have, let me know in the comments below. Just a quick reminder that they have some really good staking that, you know, this price, it's hard to decide what you even want to do with your tokens, if you want to just sell and before they go down anymore. But they do have a 6-month 100% APY. That's pretty dang good. But if somebody asked me this, if 100% APY, which stands for annual, meaning 12 months, does that mean you're only going to get 50% for 180 days? AI can think. No for AI, Nubila now come together, unlocking real world observability for on chain. You know, somebody made a comment, and it wasn't in Nubila Discord, but it was in 375 AI. When you see some of these projects have partnerships like this, does it translate into anything? Think about it. If this project is not really adopted by people, real people, and this project ain't really adopted yet by real people, you need adoption from real people to make these projects work. Not just thoughts and meaning behind it. You need real world to eventually adopt this stuff to make it worth something and to be able to live and continue on. No for AI and Nubila. if I'm not familiar with NOFA AI, but my point is, if NOFA AI still ain't being used, whatever NOFA is, does this mean anything? Does some of these partnerships ever mean anything? Let me go back and find that comment. Quez in 375 AI says, one would argue that without utility nor demand, native alone cannot lead to widespread adoption and success. You have to have widespread adoption and success. That's what helped Helium out. Helium had 900,000 miners get adopted. Every one of those miners burnt or used HNT when they got activated, which led to what that token ended up doing. And once it hit 900,000, think about it. I would argue that that is what propped that token up so much. Because once it reached 900 something thousand, that was the tipping point. Nobody was buying devices anymore after that. That's when your price started failing. Nobody was buying those tokens anymore, which nobody was actually buying the tokens before. It was the onboard process that was burning or buying them tokens. So if the project doesn't satisfy a need or have demand for specific person, the project will go nowhere. And why most DeFi protocols in Web3 get hype and die afterwards, and you're gonna have to revolutionize. I don't know who Gleech is, but the first part of this comment is pretty freaking accurate. We can have as much hype as we want with any of these projects. Any of these projects. But if you all only have a small community that's adopting it, a lot of them can't survive like that. It needs widespread adoption. I'm gonna have to remember that. That's something I have to mention again in the future. WeatherXM, I have this device here that, and I really liked it. I can't get it back online for nothing. And again, at 16 cents a day, I really feel like climbing up in my backyard and going to take the dang thing down. No, maybe I should, but like I've tried to work on it over there with the batteries and do all kind of different stuff to it. I can't get it to connect. My phone can see my Wi-Fi out there, but that device can't for some reason. And I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know. WeatherXM is down 35%. Again, this is more than what we've been seeing. We've been seeing a 15% drop for a week. This is 35. This is double that. So it was at 8 cents, came up to about 8.6, almost 9 cents, and down to 5 cents. So in your last week, you went down 35%. For the year, you're down 91%. You went from 57 cents to 5 cents. Ouch. And no real news from WeatherXM. And you know, this is something else I want to reminisce on, is we saw the direction WeatherXM was headed. And yet a lot of us, including myself, jumped into Nubila. I have a Nubila station. I have a Nubila node. I paid for it. And, you know, now you see the Nubila price dropping hard. Was that riding there and we just didn't want to see it? Like, we saw what happened to WeatherXM, and we thought Nubila would be different. Even though I did question how good can a weather station be if a weather station doesn't measure a direction of wind, or if it's raining or how much it rained. But either way, I liked the team behind Nubila, and it seemed like they had more big wigs behind it, if that's how you want to. More people from the industry or the industry seem to be behind Nubila. And part of me wonders if we just start falling in love with some of these projects and the writing's there on the wall. You know, again, I paid for it out of my pocket. So I don't want people to say, oh, you just like Nubila because you were getting free products. No, I paid $300 something for my Nubila node, just like some of y'all did. So, you know, whether or not I bought a Nubila Marco or I bought a node, I'm still out of that $300 something. And there's no talk right now about what's going on with these nodes. I don't even know if I'm getting even rewards for that node anymore. I saw a couple of times it dropped, but the last couple of days or whatever it was, week, 2 weeks, I didn't see anything. So I don't know, but I'm kind of jumped on the wrong thing right here. But, you know, I don't know. Grass, Jesus Christ. There's talk, and I don't know where people are getting this talk, but there's several X accounts that are discussing or mentioning or bring up. Nobody knows where they got this information from. They say it was on some type of announcement, but yet nobody can produce it. But grass will not have another drop until February. And I fear what's going to happen to the grass token if you have to go 3 or 4 more epochs. I will say it just seems very hard to keep these things online. I don't know why. Like I normally have 5 or 6 devices, and I can guarantee you if I go check the 4, 5, and 6 devices that showing offline, they got grass running in them. I still got to reboot the damn thing. But again, there's another one for 26 cents or whatever the hell it is. We have no idea what making. I know there's a lot of also comments on X saying that you're not going to get nowhere close to the drop you had this time. But then nobody can also explain what you're going to get between these diamonds. They have some kind of formula that they made up saying this is what we should be getting with these formulas. You know, if you get for every 100,000, so many tokens, but nobody knows what the hell these are going to turn out to be. These diamonds. So, you know, I know I make the same comments every time. I know people get pissed every time I make the same comments every time, but I still will say rewards shouldn't be this hard. Whoever's running this project, look at me when I tell you, you're killing this project. You've given out rewards before. It's not that difficult to do it again. You raised $10 million. You want to brag you raised $2 million, but yet you can't pay out tokens. Do you really need more epochs? Like, what are you waiting for? But saying all that, this is where I just confuse you. I keep you on your toes, and I'll sit there and say, let me ask y'all this question. What price does this have to drop for y'all to say, maybe I need to buy a little bit? This is when you start getting crazy and taking just YOLO. You only live once. Your all-time high in this is $3.90. If it goes back to $3.90, you're already making a 10x. So let me ask you, if this falls to say, because I think if you really are going to go 3 more epochs at least before this goes up, and this goes down every time you hit a new epoch, it takes a hit. When there's another epoch, it takes a hit. People need to see that and realize that. But at some point, do you take a chance and throw a little bit of money at this token and buy some? Because that has crossed my mind. It's just, hey, look, I got a lot of tokens I own that will never do anything, and so be it. You know, you let this fall to say 5 cents, 10. I'm not saying it is. Please don't understand. Please understand. I'm just playing what if at this point. Crypto right now is completely off the chain, off the wall. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. You can't figure any of it out. I don't care what they say. But so you let grass continue to fall. Grass is down 36% in a month. 36%. It went down almost 20 cents in a month. 18 cents. No, 16 cents. 16 cents in a month. So another 16 cents, say in a month, even say if it's to New Year's, you're looking at 12 cents. I don't think it's unreasonable to see as being, if this really doesn't pay out till February, I can really see this being under 10 cents if it continues this same route it's going. It's down 88% in a year. If it falls to 9 cents, you're buying some. I might buy a little bit. Because from what whoever these people are on X who act like they know what they're talking about, who sound like they know what they're talking about, you know what they say? They keep saying that the next drop, and I've said this in videos before, you can go find it. I've said this in videos. The first drop we had was from beta tokens and some alpha tokens, beta, and then 18 months or whatever it was, 16 months of round 1. That's a lot of tokens stacked up with a lot less people mining. And I saw something on X saying how many more people are mining this. So here's one saying that you got a full rollout Q1 2026. Big surprise coming December 2025. What's it going to be? That goofy miner that they were coming out with? Rumor has it Grass is about the airdrop season 2, right, bros? I don't know who Lock-in is, but airdrop hunt with Lock-in. Some users reported 700,000 Grass points for just 95 tokens, whatever. Season 2 will be very different. The token supply is lower. The number of users is much higher. And the season is running much longer than the previous one. I'll argue with that, but okay. According to most users, the expected season 2 conversion rate might be around 10 to 20,000 points per one token. And then somebody else talked about how somebody else talked about what about the diamonds and stuff like that. My point is, we don't know what the hell's gonna happen with Grass. You know, the last drop of Grass, I made over $1,000 worth. I staked it all, kicked myself in the butt. Another one I should have sold when it was up to almost $3 or $4, but I tried to play the long game. Here we are. Natix, I'll tell you about Natix. Natix prices dropping. No, there's no announcements, nothing going on in the Discord. Prices dropped 14% this week. You'd think I'd learn my lesson at some point. I have exactly 900,000 tokens. So I'm at $385 when at one point I was at 900. Right now, I think my estimate is that I would get another 12,000 tokens because I'm actually in like the top 100 because of all my trips I've been taking lately. I'm in the top 100 of tokens. I mean, of ranking, and so I'd get 12,000 tokens as of right now. That's $390. Part of me wants to take it now before this price drops any further. I just don't know how much this recovers, even with a crypto recovery, because it has been dropping nonstop since it hit this high back in May. I just don't know how much it recovers. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Natix. I'm lost on that one. Silencio, people keep asking about Silencio. Silencio to me is only concerned with their new AI talk thing, whatever it is. And so to me, if you can't speak any of these, if you're not bilingual, I don't know how much Silencio is still doing with the whole sound reading thing. I guess we'll find out with raffles and stuff like that. But if y'all, like I said, y'all want to keep continuing with Silencio, y'all can. Y'all know that I'm not messing with it. By January 1st, all my tokens should come off of staking. Silencio, another one that's down 27% in a week, which is more than what some other projects are, was at 0.00016. And it's at 0.0012 now. For the month, it's down almost 50%, 47.8% to be fair. I don't know. I don't know to tell you. I know some of y'all on Silencio. I know some of y'all still defend Silencio. But to me, this is definitely not passive income. I've had this argument with a lot of people. And of all the projects that you have on here, Silencio is probably the most cumbersome to deal with, because meaning that you have to do something every time you're trying to earn, whether it's the voice thing or whether you're taking sound readings, you have to do something. 375 AI works in the background on my phone. I never look at it. Once a day, maybe every other day, I bring it up to make sure it's still running, and that's it. That's it. Nubila's out there. DIMO's plugged into my car. Entropy, Junk, Onocoy is just running. Grass, just running. Natix, I got to set up the device when I first start driving, and then I don't touch it. If I'm driving for an hour, I don't touch it for an hour. When I'm done, I check on my challenges. That's it. Silencio, you got to deal with it every time. And talking to some of y'all in my Discord, y'all basically feel the same way I am. It's very hands-on to earn anything. to earn you 15 cents a day, which is probably going to be less than that because that is what I'm making with all these tokens I got staked. Somebody who's new to this is making way less than that. $8 a month maybe or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Helium IoT. Hey, you have to give the Helium. Helium, that price really has not taken that much of a dive compared to what some of these other projects are doing. It's actually up 22% for the month. It is only down 7%, which is not bad compared to what we're seeing with a lot of other projects. I'll give it to them. And somebody said this in X, and I agree with them. It makes you wonder if some of the stuff Helium is doing behind the scenes is finally starting to help it a little bit. And if we weren't in crypto itself, wasn't in this big dive, where would Helium be? I don't know. We know there's no new announcements. I don't even have to go look. Wingbits. Wingbits has a big AMA coming up Wednesday. And I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all are in the Wingbits project, I would do whatever you can. If you have to move around your lunchtime for work, I would try to make sure you are in that AMA. So if you're in Wingbits right now, y'all all have a homework assignment. Call it homework, call it assignment, whatever you want to call it. But I want to see as many of y'all as possible, even if you can't watch it, but join to show a good standing of people that we give a shit and we want to know what's going on. And I want to see as many people as possible. I challenge to have more people in this AMA than ever before. I keep being told it's going to be something super important. We were told that last time. But I was told that this one is one not to miss. There's going to be some big announcements and all kind of stuff like that. I can tell you right now, I have sticky notes on my desk. I have an alarm set on my phone, and this is 10 a.m. my time central. If you go to Discord and look on for yourself, this is going to change to your time, but I'm trying to challenge as many people as possible. I want to see this number doubled. We know they got at least 4,000 stations out there owned. A lot of people just own one station. We should be in the 600 or 700. If you give a shit about this project, you need to show them that you're interested in what's going on with it, that you're still engaged with it, and you're ready for TGE and whatever else they got an announcement. And I'm challenging y'all. I want to see more people at this stage. Please show them that we are engaged and we are ready and we want to see what the hell's going on. I told you before, they got another ADSB project called ADSB, call it farm, call it, Mode S, whatever. But you have 4D Sky coming. I think a little bit of competition's good. However, what I'm reading that is that these will almost go side by side, where Wingbits is concentrating on the aircraft and your higher elevation stuff and your ADSB, and 4D Sky is going to concentrate on your other modes that Wingbits isn't really hitting on, and a lot more of your lower altitude stuff. 4D Sky is also a decent amount more expensive. I'm going to have a video coming out soon about 4D Sky because I am probably going to get involved in it. But again, Wingbits is going to do what Wingbits thinks is right, and I have full faith, and I'll make sure I tell everybody that I have full faith. This is still my number one project, and my number one project of all these projects that we are in right now. Of all these projects, Wingbits is still my number one project that I have the most faith in. And I still have the hat. I still got the hunting hat and everything else. And I'm ready. So come on, Wingbits, do your thing. I don't know if I discussed it last video or not, but also make sure y'all know that I did a video on setting tail scale up for your device. Check out my video on that. It's a little wonky still. I've had some issues with the TAR 1090 screen, but for people who have hosted devices somewhere else and want to be able to get into their Wingbits high fixed dashboard, this thing works great because I can get into my dashboard with it. So, and it's set up 30 minutes away from my house at a host location. So that's one thing for Wingbits I can say thank you on. Combinder, look, I tell y'all every week, I've actually tried following the Telegram to get some updates for y'all. I can't. It's so wonky. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to wait for a bigger announcement or something. BrushO's the same thing. BrushO supposedly went TGE. They say they went TGE. You can see in your app where it went from oral tokens to BrushO tokens, but I can't find even where this is listed on any Explorer. I can't find it on deck screen or anything like that. I don't know, it's because it's called something different or not pasting the contract right. So I can't tell you what we're making daily or weekly on it when you are getting 100 something brush tokens for brushing your teeth still. So I don't know what this is yet. I don't know. I don't know what the token's worth or anything like that. So right now, until I can get that information, this is staying for testnet. So I know this video probably went long, and I said it wasn't going to be long, but hey, the first 30 minutes of what the hell is going on in crypto, I just thought y'all would appreciate instead of me doing a separate video on it. And that's why I breeze through kind of these projects. Again, listen, I'm at a fork in the road. I don't know what the hell I want to do. I really don't. Part of me is telling me just concentrate on Bitcoin from this point forward. But how fun is that? And what the hell would I do videos on? I'm being dead serious when I tell you that, last time we went through a bear market, I had 10 or 12 tokens that I concentrated on that were down 95%. And that's what I put on. And if I gotta go through another bear market, I'm telling you, I'm narrowing it down even more than that. And I'm only going to hit on these certain projects like VET. Like I was telling y'all, if those price points fall to a certain point. Same thing with Chronos and one or two of those other tokens we talked about. And then everything, all my extra money is going in Bitcoin. If there's a Depin project that I really like, I might join it, but with the understanding that, hey, I might break even. And that's the way I can look at it. We'll see. Other than that, guys, just look, keep your head up, and what's going to happen is going to happen. There's no reason to lose sleep over it because you have no control over it. I know it's easy for me to say, but I'm losing sleep too. I'm not going to say a lie to you. I was busy as hell at work today. I'm hoping tomorrow I can actually take some time and really do some digging on what's really kind of going on with this crypto market, but who knows? So I'm gonna try to do a live tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Definitely gonna do a live on Thursday night, and we'll see where it's going from there. And hopefully, just a big BS chit chat session. Make sure you make time on Wednesday to try to get on to that Wingbits AMA. I'm telling y'all, I'm challenging y'all. I want to see 500 people on that freaking thing. I'm challenging y'all, and I'm hoping that maybe I can get some other YouTubers to follow me. That I'm challenging y'all with the amount of people that are in Wingbits. There's no reason why there should only be 100 people watching that AMA. We're at a point right now that I think everybody should be listening and finding out what the hell's going on. I know some of y'all work, some of y'all can't join it. I understand that, but some of y'all can if y'all really wanted to. Get on there and figure out what's going on with Wingbits and show them that we are still 100% behind them, ready for whatever's going to happen, and we're ready to go. So, all right, that's it. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all next video.